Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I thank the gentleman for yielding, and I especially thank him for his leadership for the great state of Maryland and the city of Baltimore, as well as for calling this special order this evening so that we could come together and express the heartbreak that we all felt and now to commemorate the collapse of the Francis Scott Key Bridge and these 6 beautiful souls, in loving memory of them who lost their souls on that dark morning. Thank you again, Congressman Quasey, for organizing the special order. I join you and Congressman Sarbanes in recognizing the leadership role of the Governor of Maryland, Wes Moore. I want to pay tribute to the Mayor of Baltimore, Brandon Scott, and to all of our congressional delegation for uniting together in a bipartisan way in response to this tragedy. 2 weeks ago, just to remind, it was 2 weeks ago in the dark of night and braving the cold, a crew got to work making repairs to the Francis Scott Key Bridge. They were doing their jobs so that 30,000 people a day could go to theirs to do their jobs. Our love and prayers are with those who lost their lives in this collapse and with their families who lost a husband, a brother, a father, a son. Our gratitude is with the heroic emergency responders. They responded so quickly and saved lives, as well as the teams working quickly to clear the channel. The magnitude of the collapse cannot be understated. 6 families shattered first and foremost. Tens of thousands of commuters rerouted. Paralysis of a port that handles $80 billion a year in commerce, sending a shockwave to the entire economy. But inspired by the love, unity, and resilience of the Baltimore community, Baltimore will rebuild. President Obama has been mentioned, and the Congress must be there with resources to support every step of the way. And on that score, I would say that having been in this Congress for a long time, sadly, we have borne witness to many natural and other disasters that have befallen our communities, whether it was the bridge in Minnesota, whether it was a storm in Florida, whether it was Katrina in New Orleans, whether it was water damage in Iowa. The list goes on and on, but we've all been there for each other. Maybe not all of us, but most of us have been there. And this is a big, big tragedy, but in terms of cost, much smaller than many of the hurricanes and the rest that have happened in the rest of the country. But we can learn from them, whether it's unemployment insurance for the workers, whatever it happens to be. We want to make sure that we utilize every resource at our disposal to bring people together. The governor has pointed out, as has Congressman Quasey and members of the delegation, the mayor, our Senator Sarbanes, Congressman Sarbanes, our Senators Ben Cardin and Chris Van Hollen, that this is a national challenge. If you are a restaurateur in Tennessee, you are affected by this. If you're an auto worker in Ohio, you are affected by this. If you're a salesperson in West Virginia, you are affected by this because of just the products that come through. The products that come through and the jobs that are affected by it. In closing, my father was mayor of Baltimore my whole life, and when I was in first grade, when I went to college, he was still the mayor of Baltimore, so that's where my heart is. And I always was so proud of the fact that the national anthem was written in Baltimore. Francis Scott Key, in the War of 1812, wrote the national anthem, and my brother Tommy, who also was mayor of Baltimore, was always fond of singing it in his way. And the line in the song that I always like the best, and I think that applies here, is when he says, "Gave proof through the night that our flag was still there." That's when I start cheering at the game, not at the end, but at that point, as I just did at opening day in San Francisco. Those were the words penned by Francis Scott Key as he gazed upon the ramparts. Now a bridge bearing his name is near where those ramparts were. And as we rebuild, indeed, give proof through the night that our flag is still there, our flag being our unifying symbol of our country, that we're all in this together. And we will be there. We'll learn from other disasters. We'll teach other disasters in the future by how we, in a new, fresh way, in the Baltimore way, Baltimore strong, rebuild the Francis Scott Key Bridge. Proof through the night that our flag was still there. Thank you, Mr. Mufumi. Please yield back to you.